Okay guys, so what this video is just me burning gas. I really want this 400 to break in, and I'm going to be using it as my primary saw for anything that I have to do. I mean, I'll still do test cuts here and there with other saws to keep, get video content and things like that, but I really want this 400 to break in. And I hear anywhere from 6 to 10 tanks, and in order to get to that, I'm going to have to run it a lot. I honestly don't run a saw all that much. It's not like I have a tree service or something, or I'm not going out and cutting every day for hours at a time. So for me to put, say 8 tanks through a saw, it takes me a long time. So this saw is going to be my primary means of cutting until it gets broken in. And this right here is just me burning gas. So if you want to see a Stihl MS400 just cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, this is the video for you. I do also in this video, I stop it and I get RPM readings of what it measures out of the cut and what it measures while it's cutting, because I want to see the difference whenever you break it in, if it'll pull more RPMs, because I had the thought that actually it's the coil might have like an hour meter on it that won't allow the saw to go to full potential until after a certain amount of hours. I will go ahead and add this in here too, that it's really almost impossible to get one of these auto-tune or M-tronic saws to measure RPMs out of the cut, because they bounce around like crazy. The auto-tune or the M-tronic is constantly trying to check it, give it more or less fuel to get it where it wants to be, and that makes your RPM readings go haywire. But I did manage out of the cut to get, I think it was 13,800 out of the cut. That was a reading that I saw, and in the cut the highest I saw I think was 11.3, and that was, with it actually biting and actually pulling wood. But then whenever you dog it in harder, of course, it was dropping into the 9,000 range. But from what I can tell, getting RPM readings in the cut, these RPM readings are extremely similar to a ported saw. Yeah, so it runs strong, and it does seem like this saw was made for a 20-inch bar. Now, whenever it breaks in, will it handle a 24-inch bar better? Definitely, it should. It should. But there's something, part of me that is thinking that maybe this saw is always just going to be good for a 20-inch bar, and that's its sweet spot where you want to run it. Because I gotta say, with this 20-inch bar, it's a lot more enjoyable to run that saw than it is with the 24, 25-inch bar, whatever they call it. I mean, it feels like it was made for a 20-inch bar. It does. Maybe a 22-inch bar, but the 24, 25, from what I'm seeing, I don't know, I just feel like it's a little much for the saw. I will still continue to run 24, 25-inch bar on this, but whenever you're in that much wood, this saw is not a torque saw. This saw is a high RPM saw. It's happier that way, and so the saw is happier with this 20-inch bar for sure. Yeah, it feels really good. But anyways, that's the video. You guys go ahead and watch it if you feel like it, if you want to see these 400s really throwing some noodles. Okay, so I've been meaning to do what I'm about to do for a while. Finally, I'm going to do it. Before this thing breaks in, I want to get a reading of what it pulls out of the cut and in the cut. so that whenever it breaks in, we'll see what the difference is. I finally got a good high reading there, 13,800. 13.8. And it's oiling good now. Now that I put that high flow oil oiler on there. Now let's see what it'll do in the cut. It's all over the place. It's all over the place, but the highest I saw whenever it was actually grabbing was about 11,003. So that's pretty dang good. That's ported saw territory right there. But you know, whenever it actually dogged, you know, 10,000 RPMs down into the 9,000 RPMs even, but just a good bite. We were looking at it was pulling through over 11,000, which is pretty healthy. running good, ain't she? So yeah, running good now. I mean, it feels the way a 67cc saw should feel with a 20-inch bar on it. It pulls it without any hesitation. Just digs right in and goes. The 25-inch bar is where it's like, not so much. I mean, it does it just fine. It does it. But this is the kind of power that you like. It's fun. 20-inch bar, 67cc saw. It's running good, feels good, pulling right through there. The light bar is, it's the light bar. It is what it is. It's a laminated bar, and that bar is still hot as can be, but I know that it's oiling. It's oiling very well. I can see it. So just cutting like that so much, these long cutting with the grain cuts, takes a lot out of it. The chain most definitely is dull now. I mean, it still was throwing noodles, but I was having to dig it in harder. Definitely lost its edge. And then whenever I hit the dirt over there, I really hit the dirt. You can see I went into it, I cut some dirt. So it's definitely going to need to be sharpened up now. But yeah, we are, looks like we're about 3/4 of the way through. Oh yeah, more than that probably. Probably about 80% done with the second tank of fuel. will keep using this thing as my primary saw until it is broken in. And then I can give other things a try and stuff. But I really want to get this thing broken in, see what it's actually capable of. All right, later.